PUP, the Unraveling of PUPTheBand album review. Let's chat about it. Hey guys, what's going on? John here from What's Spinning. Here tonight to chat about this latest from PUP. These guys are a Canadian pop punk band. People freaking love these guys. And it's not that hard to see why either. I mean, pop punk is just really good pop punk, I should say. It's really hard to find these days. I mean, outside of, the Wonder Years and what Jeff Rosenstock's been doing and some modern baseball, there's not a lot of truly great pop punk right now. But in the last few years, PUP have really put themselves at the forefront of it. And while back in the day, I overlooked their self-titled debut, you really shouldn't. It's not a perfect album, but it certainly has some of their best early tunes like Reservoir. But by the time The Dream Is Over came around, PUP were just simply putting out some of the best pop punk and emo out there on the market right now. Tracks like Old Wounds and DVP, hot damn! Oh, and with their last album, Morbid Stuff, they cemented themselves as the pop punk and emo band to watch right now. This was easily their most consistent and catchiest song list to date, and I've been honestly super pumped for this album, mostly because of just how great the singles have been leading up to this thing. Let's chat about it. This album starts off with 4 chords, and yeah, it's really great. It's not the wild-eyed, very upbeat and catchy intro that I was expecting, but if you're like, I don't know, a fan of Jeff Rosenstock, what he's been doing in the last couple of years, you'll probably see, a little synchronicity here. It is on the lighter side, but it has that self-deprecating sense of humor. It's, it's got that big hook still. It's something that I love in pop punk, and this does a really great job of ushering in the sounds of this album. Totally fine. I've loved it as a single for quite a while. I think it's the best track here. It's got a gigantic hook. Love this big, crunchy riff. The songwriting's great too. This is everything that I could ask for from this band right now, but even more upbeat and catchier than I thought they could be. There is no fluff in sight. This is just really, really good. I love Robot Writes a Love Song too. I think this is one of the most creative tracks here. Some of the references here are so odd and quirky and fun and just really different for the band, and I salute that. It's also backed up massively with a great sense of humor, some really well done writing, and a big catchy hook once again. Oh, and a ton of passion. And I guess you can argue Matilda's a little safe for the band. It's a little meat and potatoes pop punk in 2022. But truthfully, I don't really care about that because it's just as well written, it's just as catchy, and just as passionate as some of the best tracks here. And come on, compare this to what else is going on in pop punk right now? This is so much better. Relentless is really great too. I love how upbeat and throttling this track is. It just has a great energy to it, and they continue to just write really, really, really catchy tunes. PUP have their sound down to a T, and they just keep ripping through great punk tune after great tune like it's their job. Oh yeah, it is their job. And the extended instrumental break that we get on this track, it's actually really good. Now, I do have a couple of issues with this album. The second and third parts to 4 chords, honestly, I'm sorry, I'm not laughing, guys. But there are some even worse moments here, like Habits. I think this is the worst track here. What is going on this track? All of a sudden, PUP are trying a lot of different things, experimenting almost, and it just comes off as way too much. This sounds just way too sloppy and I'm not into it. And I'm not really here for cutting off the corners either. I don't necessarily have a problem with the band going for a slower track. Look at this album's intro. It's just how boring this track is. It's so bland, it's so pained, it just feels like they struggled so hard. So is this as, streamlined and consistent as their last album, Morbid Stuff? No, but man, these guys are such a band to watch right now. Waiting. What even is this? This is one of the best tracks here. I love the winding, wild riff that just seems to just tumble through everything in its path. I didn't know they had a ripper like this in them. I mean, I'm not too shocked because they're just a great band, but still. It packs a punch. It's still really well written. It's a really nice surprise. And that goes double for Grim Reaping. This is chaotic. It almost has a post-hardcore edge to it, which is something we haven't heard from them in years. And it's genuinely heavy. It's something new from them, and it's something I wouldn't mind hearing more of in the future. And honestly, I think this album ends off really well with PUPTheBand Incorporators filing for bankruptcy. I love the intense riff that we get here, the sense of finality. This just seems to be everything I really liked about this album, put together, packaged nicely on one track for a really solid finale. And the chaotic woodwinds we get towards the end, where are we? Yes, please. So overall, my thoughts are, I don't think this is as consistent as their last album, Morbid Stuff, but come on, what else are you going to listen to in pop punk right now? This is still a very good album, and PUP are still a band that you want to know about, watch, and sing along with every freaking hook here, because there's a lot of really great ones. I'm feeling a light 8 on this album, but let me know what you guys think down below. If you liked the video, be sure to give us a like, give us a subscribe, and let me know down below what you would like for me to chat about in the future. And until next time, have a great day, guys.